think I said turn it off and turn it on.
There we go.
Services.
That's
I
right.
don't know.
That one, that one.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the town board meeting. Got a motion open, town board meeting, March 12th, 2026.
So moved. Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
First item on the agenda is the review of the FEIS for IWS permit. I'll have a copy of it, a lot of Sean's notes in here. We know that we can't really act on it tonight because the traffic consultant hasn't.
That's correct, he's still going through it, he tried to get it completed for the night, he had some other commitments that he was out there for a while, so he was unable to do that.
Alright, so everybody has the information here. Sean is here to discuss any of the issues or any of the changes that he made. If anybody has any questions. George, the floor is yours, Sean.
Yeah, so just by way of some background, so this was last before you at your December 11th meeting. At that time, you had a public hearing, you received comments from the public. The applicant had a stenographer present, they took down those comments. And now on the February 27th, February 27th, the applicant submitted the FEIS. So the FEIS responds to the comments that you received on the EIS, both the verbal comments received during the meeting that were transcribed, as well as any written comments that you received during the written comment period. So, you as a lead agency, you're responsible for the accuracy of the FEIS. I reviewed it, I made some revisions as the supervisor said. A lot of it's just cleanup, if you will, from my standpoint. I did have one mistake in there I was gonna point out. I mentioned a date that doesn't exist. It's February 29th, 2026. It should have been March 1st, 2026. You might have noticed that. So the purpose this evening really is just to see if you have any questions for me, if there's anything you want to add or revise to the FEIS, and also to discuss next actions with the board, just so, in case you have any questions in that regard.
Any questions?
Go ahead,
George,
George.
go ahead.
Okay, first is, do we know the status of the DEC permit?
That was my
I was gonna
first
ask
question.
that, that's my question.
There you go.
They, at the time of writing of the FEIS, they did not have a DEC permit, but that doesn't surprise me, because DEC, no involved agency can take action until seeker is complete. So my understanding is the DEC is waiting for you to complete seeker before they take any action.
That's normal?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, the next thing is the hosting. So, this is 1-4. The fiscal benefits to the town. So, I did a little math, and my math kind of shows that I don't think we're gonna wind up getting $200,000 a year. First,
The agreement we have with them is not for $200,000 a year, it's a one-time $200,000 and then $1 per ton, which is about $60,000 per year.
no, but it says repeatedly in there
Yeah.
that you will be getting $200,000 a year in tipping fees.
Yes,
And
that's
what I'm
correct.
here to tell you is,
That's
I
not-
don't think that's gonna happen. If you do the math, at 600,
60,000, yes.
at 600, I said, I'd use one figure, 600, then, times, which comes to 3,000 a week, times 52, is $156,000. If you go to 670 times 5, same type of thing, you get 174,200. So, in a perfect world, if they were getting 670 continuously, what I'm basically saying is, you're not gonna get 200,000. So my contention is, let's put something in there that says, we're gonna get 200,000.
Sure.
They've said that right in there multiple times. You're gonna be getting $200,000. So put something in there that makes that happen.
I can make that revision.
I think, quite honestly, I think that they made a mistake, but you can certainly bring it up with them.
Well, what would be the mistake?
The 200,000 per year that their engineers put in here, their consultant put in there is inaccurate based on the agreement that we signed with them. we signed an agreement for $1 per ton. So I'm
Right.
not sure how they're getting to 200,000 when the tonnage is
670.
per day, but what is it for the year? 600 a day?
Depends on the days that they're
670
operating.
times
You have to-
5 times a week times 52 weeks is 174,200.
Okay, so that's what we're gonna be getting, is a dollar per ton or 174,200.
Well, yeah.
They're saying which will amount to more than 200,000 per year, okay.
But what-
I mean, we need clarification on that, because that's not what the agreement was that we signed. We signed for $1 per ton.
The only thing I need to check, and the reason it wasn't made beforehand, was that they are permitted to operate on Saturdays. We
Correct.
Work a half a day, so I'm not sure whether that comes into play as well. So let me talk to them, I will redo the math, and I will footnote the calculation so it's clear for everybody.
They're closed on holidays, though.
They are closed on holidays,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah,
But
so I
I'll
mean,
ask them
I think
I'll
a
ask them how they
realistic,
calculated that, and we'll check.
a realistic figure of what the town is gonna get as it stands now is somewhere between 150 and 170. And what I'm saying is flat out is, no, it's not a mistake. It's 200,000, that's what we need to get. You know, it's either whatever the tonnage is or 200,000.
If it's 200,000 and the tonnage, let's say right now, the tonnage works out the way you think it is, and it's gonna come out to 175 per
Right.
round. And $1 a ton, then the only way that you can get up to 200 is to change the tipping fee on the dollar.
$1.25 a ton.
But let me ask you a question, I'm really confused, because I thought their 360 permit was for only 90,000 tons a year. Where
That's
are
what I
you
have to
coming up
look
with
at.
this?
That's what I have to look at.
Yeah.
I have to look at how
That's
they
why this is a
calculate it.
total mistake, because their 360 permit is for only 90,000 tons a year. Which would be $90,000 a year.
I believe you, I just wanna check and
Yeah.
see how they
So I
calculate
think
it, and then
we're-
fix the math, and
Okay.
then comment.
Why don't we just clarify it and we'll, yeah.
All right, so we're not really we're not accepting this tonight anyway, so we have until the
That's
next
correct.
meeting
Well,
anyway.
This is the-
But then I have another factor, which I've mentioned many times already, it's so far it's fallen on deaf ears, but we need an escalator. Or we need, 5 years from now, we're gonna renegotiate the tipping fees.
Well, how
Or
long is our
the
special
host
use
fee,
permit
I
for?
should say.
It's not, it's tied to the host agreement.
I know we have a host agreement.
No, I asked how long is our special use permit gonna be for? Because that's how you could
Oh, okay.
relook at it.
These permits that you're discussing now, I think, have a 5
5
year
years, yeah.
maximum, so.
So in 5 years, we're gonna renegotiate it anyway. They're gonna have to come before us for another special use permit.
Again, it depends on how the host agreement was structured. If the host agreement goes beyond 5 years, then it's likely the host agreement would dictate the length of the term.
I don't recall there being a time frame on the host agreement, but we should look at that.
I mean, the tipping fees go up every year. Why shouldn't the host fee go up every year to a certain amount, or like the CPI, or something along that line, much like we do with Legoland? I mean, 20 or 30 years from now, that buck a ton is gonna be a penny a ton.
Agreed, I guess let's just see what Sean, if you can take a look at what the host agreement says, and then since
Sure.
we've already signed that, that's gonna have to be what we use to, make sure that this FEIS is correct.
Well, if there was confusion, they may want to renegotiate that also.
Well, I think,
And,
I thought they were gonna be here tonight.
Yeah.
I guess not.
Yeah.
But now, on 22926, the major site plan lapsed.
That's correct.
So they have to go
Yes.
back to the planning
Right.
board
That's correct.
and get the major site plan approval.
Yes.
Plus, they need a special use permit from us.
That's right.
So I think we have some leverage here.
I don't think you're saying that the site plan special permit approval is based or contingent
No,
on.
he's not saying
Okay.
that.
Just wanted to make
I
sure
can
that-
answer for George, you're not saying that.
No, no, I'm not saying that,
He's
but
telling me that they're not gonna say it either.
I'd like some, I'd like some, give and take here.
Understood.
Let's take a look at the.
Yeah, let's take a look at the
agreement.
numbers. I'll get you guys how they worked out those numbers, and then we can
Good.
change the FEIS as you want.
Okay.
Okay, the next thing I had was 1-3, you know, there's a tremendous amount of red ink here, right? And
That's-
those are all changes
Yeah.
that were made by you, Sean, right? So I have no idea whether IWS agrees with all
Doesn't
those-
matter.
all those- It
Doesn't
doesn't matter.
It's our agreement.
Oh,
This
but
is
it's
your
not your-
document,
Oh, I see.
so you're responsible for the accuracy and the consistency of the FEIS.
Oh, so then why don't you put in an escalator?
Because, George, because that's a host agreement, the FEIS is just analyzing
You
the
can't
environmental
materially
impact.
change the
Yeah, two
agreement.
agreements.
Yeah, I can put in whatever you say, but
I'm
it doesn't
telling
change
you.
the host agreement.
Okay, the next thing I had was, page 1-3, I have a comment here next to your stuff. There was a whole bunch of stuff deleted. It's the it's the third paragraph down. Starts with, the town issued a facility solid waste permit in July of 2003.
Yeah, are you asking me why I deleted that?
Yes,
It's not really germane to the overall topic. I mean, they're getting into requirements of the special permit and things like that. This is really just a description of the action. If you'd like, we can keep it. It's just, I actually think it confuses, like a member of the public, if they were to read this, I think they might get confused by where that's going off. It's going off on a tangent.
okay. It's a pretty long document, and going through it a lot is, Okay, so now I'm getting into my other situation, and that is the, potential turning lanes, improvements to Hartley Lane, Hartley Road, excuse me. And, in, Appendix C, they even offer it, right in Appendix C, that, when you make a right-hand turn at the end of Hartley Road, the trucks leave the road. So it creates, a whole problem with, not even like a pothole, it's like, there's erosion takes place, so there's a big unevenness of the road. So I guess as a general statement, I think, I know, Channing, talked about this in his things, and maybe we're gonna speak to him at some future point. But, I'm really concerned about that intersection, and that there should be improvements, whether it be turning lanes, you know, whatever it is. Of course, they say, really, we've been around for 35 years, and therefore, you know, what's the, you know, it shouldn't be a problem, because we're not really increasing the amount of trucks that are coming in and out. But, I'm not asking them to, put in all the turning lanes or, you know, all the improvements and stuff, but I think they should be making a contribution to that intersection, just like other developers there are making contributions. Maybe the contribution isn't in money, but they're doing a turning lane, or, you know, something along that line. So I really do feel strongly that they should be doing something to improve that intersection.
Understood. I've spoken to John Canning about it. He's gonna be prepared to talk to you guys about it. If there's anything you have question-wise that you want me to take back to him, so he's prepared.
If you could develop a number as part of the developers agreement that we're asking every other applicant to contribute to, based on the work that we have to do on Hartley and based on the amount of trucks that they have, maybe we could broach that with them. I'm not sure we have levers to do anything, but, you know, we could at least ask them.
I did talk to John just to kind of give you an understanding of that conversation, so, they're asking you to change the permit from 600 tons per day to 670, right? So just in that alone, that's 70 tons. That, I think, the truck trips from that 70 tons, I think is the number that you're looking at. And John will work up the number, but I think it's not for the full project, right? The project's been here forever,
Right.
been operating, but they are looking for an increase. So I think their impact is the differential of what they're currently allowed to operate as versus what they're asking to operate as.
Currently, their DEC permit is 670,000 tons. It's 600 plus 70,000 of recyclables. So they're not asking for more, they're asking just,
Yes.
not what they're asking for, and when I've gone on record for at least 10 sets of minutes is, it's gonna be 600,000 normal C and D and then 70,000. And I'm still sticking with that, you know what I mean? I see my comments right in here, but it's totally 670, that's what they're gonna come back and say. That they're not increasing it by 70,000 tons, that's what they're doing now. Nevertheless, we had asked them for a little help for a portion of Hartley Road in front of their facility, because they would use it, and they refused to do it. They didn't, I got it on memory. And they said that they wouldn't do it. It wasn't unreasonable, because they were the ones that would destroy the roads, all their trails. And if you see them, you know that's what's happening. But they didn't do it the last time, so based on what George is saying, I think we should, because they're the ones that are gonna destroy that road.
Well, the road's in great shape now, because of the work we've done.
Because we dug it.
Concrete base on it and everything, yeah.
Right, because we did.
Oh,
Yeah, no.
But they wouldn't
absolutely.
contribute.
I'm not arguing with you, I
Yeah.
agree with you.
Yeah, so if
I'll
they
bring this back to
destroy it,
John.
Yeah, get back to John and see if, what he thinks, and
yeah,
Like I said, he's definitely aware of the issue. He actually called me this afternoon to discuss it.
that's good, yeah.
So I will make sure that he focuses on that when he
what
returns.
is the criteria for the other applicants that are there,
Mm.
relative to the amount of money they're putting in the development agreement? How do you come up with that number?
Yeah, it's really just kind of on a proportional basis. So you look at the peak hour, you look at the applicants generating traffic, and then you look at their percentage of traffic traveling through any particular intersection, and that's how we have, and then you know what the improvements are, and the cost of those improvements, the overall improvements, and then you just apply that percentage to that total cost of improvement.
Yeah. And you know, at that time, we did make a point of the fact that they're the prime users of that whole road. There are very few commercial establishments along that use that road. So they're the ones that really, really are creating the damages, but they didn't want to assist in anything. I mean, that would have been a real goodwill gesture, so, based on what George says, I agree, that's what I looked at. Maybe, okay,
I know it's a,
enough said on that one.
you have a long memory,
Yeah.
with certain things, I even have a longer memory.
Yeah,
So it goes back to 2006, when I first got on the board, and the transfer was taking place from, was it Northern Recycling?
oh, yeah.
To IWS,
Yep.
No, to waste management.
to Waste Management,
Yeah.
and essentially there was, time was of the essence, I guess they wanted to really close. And they said, right here in this room, we'll take care of this whole thing, but we need to close, but we'll take care of the host agreement and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Never happened.
Never happened.
So that's a different entity, it's not, IWS.
Well,
Okay, anyway,
yeah,
moving right along here, 2-12, the Goshen facility has not received a notice of violation since 2018. As far as I know, that's untrue.
Which comment are you working on?
And we,
Just a number.
okay, it's comment, I guess it starts with 2.7.3.
Okay.
And then the answer, their response is, you know, you crossed out, well, you underlined a whole bunch of stuff which is new, but then the thing that is left in there, that their response was, the Goshen facility has not received a notice of violation since 2018. And there has been some stormwater issues that came up during the public hearing and
mhm.
things like that, so I think that's a wrong statement.
Okay. I think the way to resolve that is New York, not New York State, the EPA through their EPRO website has lists of violations. We can double check that and confirm that statement.
Are you gonna do that, or you want us to do that?
No, I'll take care of all these.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, next thing here is a detail, but since you brought it out, Sean, I was just following it up. I'm on page 2-14 now, and it's relating to storms on water, 24-hour storm events.
Sure.
So, as you said in your comment, you combine the two, because if you take a 1 year one A and one B, and you add them together, it comes to the 10.69. So your suggestion was to combine them, right?
Yeah, so you see in the title of the table, it says CFS.
Is that on that, still on this page?
At the top of that table, it might be the page before, depending on how your document
Oh.
wrote. It says 24-hour storm event.
Yeah.
Oh, I see, I see, it's on the page before.
That's cubic feet per second. And that's important because what happens is, the numbers that they give you are snapshot in time. So if you have two different watersheds and they're discharging, they don't necessarily have the same peak discharge rate occurring at the same second, right? So you just can't take the peak from one and the peak from the other because it could be occurring at different points in time. So they actually have to rerun the model. And if you look through this later, I actually asked them to rerun the model. So these numbers may change based on when they rerun the model.
Okay, so what I did then is I went to the 24-hour storm event. And if you look at that, under 1A and 1B, I'm doing the one-year one, right from there, pre and post. If you add the 1A and the 1B together, it comes to what's there at 1. So would you be combining that, or is this, because it's such over a long period of time, it really doesn't apply?
No, it would be combined, they just need to do the math to show what the number is. You just can't take the peaks from each one and combine them, because those peaks may occur at different times.
I see. So then, your suggestion is combining, so when we have whatever the new figures are, will that be combined in the 1 year and the 24
Yeah.
hour plus?
So instead of, what you will have when you're finished, instead of the 1A and 1B, you just have 1. And the 1 will be a combined number, and the number will be accurate.
Okay. What is the weight limit on Hartley Road?
I have something in there about weight limits. You do not have a weight limit on Hartley Road, from what I can see in your code.
So last time, we talked about this, and there was supposed to be a sign, Rob was gonna put up a sign, on Hartley Road, what the weight limit was. But are we saying now that we don't have a weight limit on Hartley Road?
Restrictive weight limit, like a maximum?
Yeah, like 5 ton, like, you know, some of the other
So-
ones that we have, the roads leading into, Hartley Road. Now, of course, those trucks coming in, they're like 30 ton, right?
22.
22, okay, so, but it's, in quotes, a local delivery, right?
Yeah.
So that they,
Technically, yeah.
they would be, for lack of a better term, waived, I understand that. But, you know, there might be some thing there where we should be putting a 5 ton on Hartley Road as well. I don't know.
So from what I can see based on your code, I think Rory's gonna fact check me. You have weight 5-ton rate restrictions on Cheecham, Derlin, Gate School, Owen, 6.5 Station, and a portion of Phillipsburg and Houston.
Right.
You don't have any weight restrictions currently on the books on Hartley. Now, what I've seen sometimes in municipalities, things happen, the highway department goes out there and puts up a sign and everybody thinks that that's a weight restriction, but you don't actually have it. If you want to add a weight restriction, you certainly can.
Can't hear anything.
If you want to add a weight restriction, you certainly can, but it would be outside of this application. You know, it would be a local law
So
process.
I guess, I mean, my thought at this point is, I guess there should be some weight limit, whatever it may be, on Hartley Road, right? We have weight limits on a lot of other.
No, we
I don't
have-
think you could do it
we
on
have-
Hartley Road, I mean, it's an
No.
industrial road.
Oh.
I don't think,
So I'm getting an education here, I mean, is that what we do, is an industrial road, maybe you don't
Well, yeah, I
have
mean-
it at all?
Owens Road has a weight limit, so they can't come in from that side. And the only thing is Hartley Road, because TAM comes in and out of there, and
And I think that's part and parcel to the reason why we have a concrete base in there,
Yeah.
so we
Yes.
need the road
They will
structure
carry
for
the extra
industrial.
weight.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought there was going, you know, whatever it would be, but I understand.
TAM has trucks 80,000 pounds running up and down that road all day.
That's the stable.
Maybe we could get a contribution from them.
He'd ask
George is on a roll today.
So we would have to do approvals, okay. Okay, that's that. Plan appears to show, now I'm on page 221. And you have a comment there, the plan appears to show snow storage on an adjacent lot and should be revised to identify the snow storage areas on the project site. So a revision has to be made in that? Is that basically what's gonna happen with that?
Yes, the applicant has to revise the plan that's appended to the FEIS. The applicant has no approvals for anything on the adjacent lot. Now, I know you don't need an approval for snow storage, but I think it's inconsistent and it could, kind of muddle the record, if you will.
And that's the lot across the street?
No, they're talking about the lot behind it, which is the Alton Ellsbury lot.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so, did we confirm with the town clerk, this is now, I'm on page 223, about the local laws?
Yes.
Local law 11, and I guess local law 1, was it?
Yeah, we had introduced it in January as introductory local law 1. I changed it in September to introductory local law 10, and then it was introduced, it's filed as local law 11.
Local law 11,
The applicant, when they wrote this, didn't realize that the numbers changed based on when you filed the department code.
okay. So that's that, and now I just have a couple of notes, I think I probably covered them already, but just to make sure. Yeah, I'm done.
Phil?
No, that's fine, we went along, we covered the areas that I was looking at, which weren't as extensive as George, but we covered, so.
Okay.
I just had one question that I don't know if we're allowed to ask, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. On 211, I know that there was a concern about the IWS trucks going to Houston Road,
Yeah, they don't go there anymore.
as a shortcut. Okay, no, but they said they use the geofencing to find out if drivers do go there. I guess the company uses geofencing to find out if drivers are not making a delivery, if they're on a route. And then it says, they will be disciplined.
Yeah,
Is it
they-
any
they
drivers
had
that are-
7 tickets in 2 days. They're not going on that road anymore.
Just curious what the disciplining was, but, no, I know that we've done a great job of ticketing, but.
And the company was notified, and as I understand now, the company made it quite clear to all the drivers, if you go on that road and get a ticket, it's coming out of your pay, we will not cover
Okay,
it.
that is exactly what I was asking.
So,
I'm good, thank you.
all right, so we're just gonna table it until we get John's notes for the next meeting.
Right.
Yeah,
and-
so can I just walk you through
Sure,
the next
go ahead.
steps?
Yes.
So, no action this evening. Hopefully you'll hear back from John Canning, well, you will hear from John Canning, and if you're in a position to accept the FEIS at your next meeting, you would do that, you would accept it, and you'd also authorize Rory to prepare a finding statement. Right? The FEIS would be filed, and it would be circulated to involved agencies, and it would also be posted on your website. And then you cannot act on that finding statement within 10 days. So you have to wait 10 days, but you need to act on it within 30 days. So there is a window of time wherein I've looked at the calendar. I think the way it's gonna shake out, I think you're gonna have 2 meetings where you can meet those time requirements, your April meetings. But we'll make sure that that happens.
So is it, is there a necessity for outside agencies to respond and get back within that timeframe? And if
No.
they don't, then we move on, as if they're not gonna respond.
No, there's no obligation for them to respond, and I don't think I've ever received a comment on FEIS from an outside agent.
Okay. All right, very good. Next item on the agenda is the South Goshen Solar decommissioning bond. Give it over to you again, Sean.
Yeah, so South Goshen Solar is probably one of the older, if not the oldest, in construction one you have under your recent code. And they were constructed the facility, I think, in 2020, 2021. And your code and the decommissioning agreement that the town executed with the solar company requires them to come back to update their bond after 5 years. So the original bond was in the amount of approximately $360,000. Actually, it was $361,518.06. They provided a calculation indicating that it should now be $506,125.
And we're waiting on them to submit that?
No, first you need to take action on it and set that bond amount.
Okay.
My recommendation is to go with the $506,125, and then at that point, Mary and I will get back to them, and then
Mhm.
they have to post that bond.
Is the 506-125 in your mind?
Yes, their calculation was perfectly acceptable.
All right, so then
Yeah,
I'll make a motion, or could I have a motion to accept the 506-125 as the increase to the decommissioning cash bond?
so moved,
Second?
Hi,
Question.
Bill and Rick.
yeah.
Question?
Roll call or,
Roll call.
what, you got a question? I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
Question about, cash or
Cash.
surety?
No,
It's a
cash.
cash bond,
Cash.
Cash bond?
yeah,
When do we take surety?
yeah,
I only wish I could use the $3.5 million that we have.
yeah. It looks like they agreed to it already, so.
Yeah.
That's in the calculation,
They-
So, yeah,
They lived up to the agreement, they
Yeah.
submitted the estimate, I reviewed the estimate.
Yeah.
Look, everything looks in order, and it's
Yes.
before you for action tonight.
yeah,
Did we notify them or they notify us?
No, they notified us, believe it or not.
Good for them.
yeah.
Cash is best.
We have a
Roll
roll
call?
call?
Councilmember Gallo? Aye. Councilmember Florio?
Aye.
Councilmember Lyons?
Aye.
Councilmember Cantorino?
Aye.
Supervisor Petra?
Aye. All right. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sean.
Next item on the agenda is to review and approve the acquisition of the town car that we talked about. What you have here is just one of the companies that we looked at. We are gonna go out to bid for 2 other companies, just to check the pricing on that. If anybody has any questions or comments or?
Well, as we said, it's going to be a town car,
Yeah.
which is going to be able to be used by town officials, town people.
Everybody in this building.
Right, or whatever. And I think I had heard that the reimbursement rate for person using their own vehicle is now 75 cents a mile.
Yep.
Therefore, when you start looking at some people who are making large mileage, like back and forth to Albany and stuff like that,
Correct.
it's probably better to have a vehicle here in the long run.
For the purposes of the audience, we'll go over somewhat. I mean, in the last 5 months on my trips to Albany, in order to secure some of the funding that we got, I have over 17,000 miles on my brand new car. I didn't put in a penny for reimbursement, although the board has told me to do so. I didn't do it. I just think that it's more important for us to get a car, so the town is paying for it. It's the town insurance instead of anybody that's driving it. But I would have been reimbursed $12,000 if I did put in for it. So part of it is my travels to Albany, but it's also for anybody else in the town to use it.
So aren't we on, can you get that off the state bid?
This is off a state bid, but I thought the price was too high, so I wanted to go.
You wanna go anyway? You wanna go?
I want to get 2 more prices. I thought the
Okay.
price was high, that's all. So
Okay.
we can do it 2 ways. We can take it off a state bid, or I can go out there for 3 bids.
Yeah, yeah.
And take the lower of the 2.
I know that.
So we're
Okay.
gonna put a request out to 2 other Chevrolet agencies for,
And are we looking at payment with an option to buy it?
this is a $1, it's a municipal funded $1 ownership at the end.
Okay, so it's a closed-end lease.
So it's a lease, but it's a $1 ownership lease.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
I did the math on the 60-month or the 20-quarter, 72 monthly, or 24, And there is a heck of a lot of difference. It ranges from total cost, if we took this one, which I
Yeah.
understand we may not, but it would range anywhere from 86,000 to 89,000. So I thought there was gonna be a drastic difference between it, but there isn't.
I think when Jen took a look at this, she opted to do the 20 quarterly payments, which was the, I don't wanna say the cheapest, the most cost-effective route to go.
Yeah.
And a lot less burden on her than doing monthly payments.
Right.
Okay.
Option 2 is exactly that. It's the least expensive as far as the lease.
Yep, that's what she sent back to me on email, that would be her request. 5 years, 60 months. All right, so I'm gonna ask for a resolution to, I'm gonna ask for approval on the acquisition, but we're not gonna require it till I get the 2 other bids. So, somebody make a motion to approve the acquisition based on the 2 additional bids coming in and getting the most inexpensive price.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call,
No.
all in favor?
Aye.
Next item on the agenda is to review and approve the resolution for Arcadia Hills Water High House Wells Water Treatment Improvement. As you are aware, we were able to get $1.8 million from EFC for the Goshen system. We went out to bid, Delaware Engineering was awarded the engineering bid. And in front of you, you have the resolution. I just want to caution everybody that the 5.2 million or 5,253,000 is based on a design where every one of our well houses gets its own greenhouse, what's that?
Green
Filtration system. We don't believe that we're gonna be doing that. We believe that we can tie some of them together, so there's gonna be a cost reduction. But they asked that we approve the resolution so they can move forward with it,
With the grant.
with the grant, yep.
Agree.
We're also working on additional money, so it's, I'm not saying this is, the 1.8 is the final number. We could have additional money from the WE program out of New York State that our grant company is working on right now. Could be an additional $1 million to $1.5 million.
And isn't there something like IDA maybe?
What's that?
IDA?
No, that's for the
Oh, that's for the
commercial water
commercial
district,
water,
yeah.
right, okay. So I don't have it in front of me, but I did read it online. And it was like, it was a, yeah. Let me see. There was a figure of, oh yeah, it's estimated to be, with the money taken out, as it is now, and it may change, but it's $3,450,000 that would be coming from, it says here, from sources including but not limited to general municipal funds, other state and federal grant funding sources, and so on and so forth, I understand that. But it can't come from general
General
municipal.
municipal.
No, it's gonna come from the, water.
The water district.
Correct.
Right.
Water
Right,
district.
so it's not general, well, that's what it says.
Yeah,
here.
so we'll make that change.
Yeah, right.
So that's the one thing, and then the other thing too is, but let's just take a round figure, say it's $3 million. Those folks out there in Arcadia Hills,
Yeah.
that's gonna be a
Well,
big
not
deal.
only Arcadia
Yes.
Hills, it's the entire water district that's
Yeah.
gonna have to pay for it.
Well,
Right.
right,
Right,
for
so,
the benefit.
so just so everybody's aware, we've looked at
Yeah.
the system there, and it's only the number 2 wells that have an iron and manganese problem. The other 2 locations don't have it, but obviously with water usage, eventually they're gonna get it. So we can do this in a stage matter. That's why we have the engineers looking at it right now to see the best course of action. We can't put any more capital money on the bearers of the districts.
No, especially after Hamiltonian Park just had that system put in as well.
So the goal here is not to start the work, the goal here is to start the engineering and get Delaware engaged to do it so that we can solidify and get the grant for the 1.8 million we got already, but we're working down the road of getting additional funds. I believe personally, after looking at it and getting an estimate on, in my mind, of what we need to do there, we're probably gonna be in the $3 million range for everything, to cover all the well houses up there.
That's with the money from the grant, or you
Right.
told?
It's the 1.8 million from the grant, and I think we need about another 1.2 million
I see, okay.
for
Okay.
total.
That's, yeah.
Right, so, I need a
A motion to adopt
motion
the
to approve
resolution as.
the resolution for the Arcadia Hills Water System High House Water Wells.
As amended,
What's that?
as
As
amended.
amended.
As amended, yes.
So moved.
Second?
I'll second the motion.
Pretty neat.
Roll call, Councilmember Cantorino.
Aye.
Councilmember Lyons.
Aye.
Councilmember Florio.
Aye.
Councilmember Gallo.
Aye.
Supervisor Batchor.
Aye. So we're gonna change municipal funds to district funds. Okay. Next item on the agenda is to review the contracts with Amy's Kitchen Water Sewer Lines. The review tonight is just to go over all the questions that were asked by the board and given to the engineers and the attorneys working on it. They've made the changes on both of them. We're not here to approve them tonight, we're here to send them off to Amy's and their attorneys. But I don't know if anybody has any additional questions on both of them.
Well, you know, as you know, because you sent me the email back, I had my questions and they were answered, so, at this point, I'm good.
All right, next question.
Bill?
I'm good, I'm good.
Rick?
I'm good too.
Melissa?
I'm good.
All right, so we're just gonna send these off, correct? We don't need, an
No,
approval to send them off.
send them off.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next item is to set a public hearing for introductory law number 1 of 2026 entitled Adopting a Moratorium on Certain Solar Energy Uses.
Okay.
We don't need any discussion, we're just gonna set the date, correct? Or do we need discussion?
Well, you gotta get a motion, and then if the board wants to have any additional discussion, you
I thought
can.
we had discussion on this already.
Yeah.
You have, I just don't know, I don't know,
Yeah.
but still,
Right.
Yep, yes.
you
Well, I'm just-
can ask for a motion.
I make a
and-
motion that we hold more, or have a moratorium resolution when?
We're looking to
Public
set a
hearing.
public hearing for
Public hearing.
introductory local law number 1 of 2026 entitled Adopting a Moratorium on Certain Solar Energy Uses.
So,
We could set it for whatever date you want. I mean, do you wanna go to the first April?
It's gonna have to do a 239 referral to the
Yep.
county.
All right, so go to the
Yeah.
so
second
not the
April.
next meeting, the meeting after.
Right.
Second, and,
We could do the first in April.
In
if you
April,
want.
oh,
right?
because we still have another March meeting.
Yeah, we have another motion.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I don't have to date, because we're on this one, April.
I think it's April, I'm not here for the second meeting, so that would be the,
I thought you were
22nd.
gonna be here, you thought you weren't gonna be here.
It'd be the 9th.
The 9th.
Yeah, 9th, April 9th.
For April 9th at 7 PM or any time thereafter.
no, I'm not here for the second one.
That'd be good, because the second meeting in April is probably gonna be the IWS, so it would already be, well, just looking from
George will have that one.
That'll be
I'm
the
on
second one in
vacation.
April?
I believe that's gonna
Yeah.
be the IWS findings and permit discussion.
So, full disclosure, as of now, I won't be here for the first meeting
Okay.
in
April?
April.
We should cancel it then.
April
up to you.
I got a
I
motion
just
on the
wanted to-
floor. Anybody want to act on
So-
the,
so-
anybody want to
Yeah,
second the
we got
motion?
Please, George.
So I have a second on that motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, so, and the
Who
date is
did go
going.
first? Who
April
made the
9th.
motion?
Phil, Phil
Bill
did.
made the motion.
Bill and
Phil,
George.
Phil
Nobody
made the
paid
motion.
attention.
George
I
seconded the
did.
motion.
I recited the whole thing.
You all agree?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And the date is,
The
again?
9th,
April 9th at 7 PM.
or soon
It's
thereafter.
gonna be half a meeting.
Okay.
Next item is to review and approve the February 26th town board meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Discuss and approve a motion to authorize the supervisor to pay accounts payable check run for February 26th, 2026 in the amount of $104,499.04.
March 12th, I made a typo on your little agenda. On your big agenda, it says. the right
Oh, that's right. February came in what?
There you go.
March 12th, 2026 in the amount of $104,499.04. Are you testing me?
Yeah, no, we talked
So
about that
moved.
already.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Privilege of the floor.
No.
So, what about this, thing that we,
You
Then
got
we have
finance-
Oh, wait a minute, we have, I'm sorry.
budget officer and you have the
And-
resolution.
I apologize,
the
yep.
chief post?
Yep, we have that.
This is ready to go, Rory?
Yeah. I didn't, because it came in too late, but I'll lay out the next steps, because it's gonna ultimately, these are stopgaps before the, local law. That's gonna,
So I'll give everybody a little bit of background on why we're doing this.
That would be good.
So, it's an ongoing issue with one of the tow companies that they, for lack of a better word, are ambulance chasers. They like to listen to the police radio and, what?
We have an
They like to listen to the police radio and get to the site first and, you know, kind of strong on the people that were in an accident. We had a really seriously bad accident yesterday. If anybody's not aware of it, everybody made it, no problem. Even the pregnant woman was, the baby are both fine. But it was a really bad accident on 17A between Goshen and Florida on the turn by Jones,
Oh, right.
Plumbing.
Yeah.
So a truck coming towards Goshen, not familiar with the area from Brewster, and he was doing probably 70 miles an hour. We have it on video, and he hit the turn, and the truck turned over and landed right on a car with
Oh,
four
my
people in it.
God.
This particular company was there like within 5 minutes. In fact, they might have been the first ones on the location. Chief Post had to ask them to leave multiple times. They called the company, we could do it. They talked about the company that was getting the tow, because they were the tow of the day, and bad-mouthing them, and it's become a major problem for the chief and the police officer. So he wants a motion put into place that says anytime the police come to a location on a dispatch, that they will direct who the tow company is.
I think we have that, don't we?
We don't. We have tow of the day, and then we allow you, as, if you, let's just say, it's
Right,
your car, we
right.
allow you to say, no, I'm gonna call my guy,
Right,
and I
right.
want my guy to come and pick it up. And if it's an issue where they're blocking the road or something, the chief does not, he wants to tow it today. He wants to make that decision, get the car out of there to stop any potential further issues that may
I
occur.
thought we already had addressed that one long time ago. We had that same
Yeah.
situation, but
yeah,
maybe not.
we kind of touched on it during the emergency, before the first snowstorm. We put in a resolution that allowed them to do some things, and now we've got
Years
another
ago. I thought
resolution,
we
so
did it
these are
years
gonna be,
ago.
I'm sorry.
I thought we did it years ago.
We very well could have by resolution, I'm not aware of that.
Okay.
Our town code doesn't reflect that. Code is very outdated, we discussed that
Yeah,
a few
yeah,
months
yeah,
back.
yeah.
So that's the next step.
Okay. yeah.
But we needed to stop
What we
that.
did was, is we allowed for multiple tow companies, and we gave each company a tow of the day, set up a schedule, and it was reoccurring, and it
Yeah,
still
yeah, yeah,
became a
yeah.
problem.
Yeah,
I mean, the
yeah.
chief thinks, and we need to look at this from a legal perspective, he may wanna go out to bid and just award it to one truck company in, you know, that handles all the town of Goshen, moving forward, but we're not there yet. Right now, he just wants to adopt this so that he can,
Yeah.
You know, it reflects, though, just to clarify, and it's important, is if someone just, it's not an emergency or it's not causing potential issues for the rest of the public, individual still has a right to call their own tow company. This is just to allow the discretion for the chief to
this,
say this is,
this is, if we show up as a police department and your car's in the middle of the road, we're towing it, you're not gonna get your choice.
yeah, no, I understand. I just wanna
If we show
clarify,
up and your car's on the side of the road, you have every right to do whatever you want to do.
just making sure.
So Rory, what we're adopting then is the ones with the whereas?
The motion, the resolution.
Motion. on
You're
the
essentially adopting, the resolution is just,
Of the town.
the procedural vehicle to adopt the chief's policy, which was
Which was the first.
which would be Exhibit A,
Right.
which was the first email.
So it's a motion to approve the resolution of the town board, the town of Goshen adopting a tow truck dispatch and scene control policy.
Right, so.
But it does reflect, the whereas clause do reflect what Exhibit A says in
Yeah,
more of a
okay.
regular term.
So that's, then I guess there's a typo there, because it says exhibit.
AS.
AS.
Yeah.
So is it AS?
It's A,
It's just A.
yeah. I was typing fast to get it out, Georgia.
At 6:17.
Just trying, well, I got it at,
17
So
PM.
you
Six,
need a,
I need a
I
motion,
didn't even
yes,
see it.
please.
you need a
I'll make the
motion?
motion.
I do.
I got it at five,
I'll make the motion.
5:45.
Motion
Second
to
it.
approve the resolution as presented,
Yeah. I'll second.
Melissa and Rick.
Mhm.
I need a roll
George,
call.
George made the motion, Rick was second the motion.
I heard Melissa.
Okay,
and Rick.
Melissa made the motion, let's not
I'm
fight
sorry.
over it.
No,
No,
but if Melissa wants it, that's fine.
I'd love it, thank you.
Is it a roll call or?
Yes, it's a roll call.
Any resolution is a roll call.
Councilmember Cantorino?
Aye.
Councilmember Lyons?
Aye.
Councilmember Florio?
Aye.
Councilmember Gallo? Aye. Supervisor Petra?
Aye. I apologize for that, now it's privilege of the floor.
No, did you do the finance?
I did.
Yeah, okay.
Bill?
I got it on the desk when I came in. When I came in tonight at 6:30.
Bill Troy, town
You
negotiator.
need a
Just
copy?
quick one. On the town clock,
I didn't have a copy.
did I hear correctly that the total estimated, at least the one bid you have, cost was $83,000?
That's with financing, yeah. With financing.
By the time you pay
Five-year
it off-
finance.
By the time you pay it off.
Well, yeah, with interest.
Yeah.
5 years, yeah.
Yeah, but the total cost, if you bought it flat out, is $74,000.
Tough right now.
$74,000 for an SUV.
It was, if you bought it flat out.
All right. I thought you were talking about a mini.
No, I'm not driving a Mini.
I was gonna say,
Clown car?
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's an
Thank
SUV.
Okay.
It would be a Chevy Suburban SUV.
But we're looking for a cheaper one.
Fit two people.
British control and drinks.
That's all you need.
June?
We had a situation on Gates Glass Road, Marie knows more about it than I do, but it's in between both of our houses, so.
Yeah, last week and last Friday, I looked outside, there was a giant fire, like 6 feet tall, out in front of the abandoned house.
That's
I'm
Right
sorry,
up
a
the
giant
steps.
what, Murray?
Fire.
Fire?
Fire, flame, so
139 Gates Glass Road.
the house has been abandoned for 3 years. So my neighbor who called me and said, is that fire? I said, yes. I said, you wanna go talk to the new idiot neighbor and tell him they can't burn? I was in the front of the house. He didn't wanna come, so I chose to call the police. Well, it turns out their squatters have moved in there.
Oh, that's
Oh,
fine.
lovely.
Oh, nice.
And so, but it turns out, I called the cops on the old owner. I guess when he comes up this way, he checks on the house. He was taking bits of furniture out and bags of garbage out. And when he took out one of the huge bags of garbage, when he got it 10 feet outside of the house, it hissed, it exploded, and it went into a 6-foot flame fire.
What
They
was the
think
bag?
it was some sort of battery.
I was
Now,
just
so we're
gonna say,
talking
it's
about the
probably a
batteries
lithium
that they
battery.
explode. So I had squatters and exploding batteries last Friday. The police force was wonderful, I guess it was like 10 cars, fire engines, all that kind of stuff. In the meantime, while they were trying to deal with that, the squatter pulled up and said, why are you in my house? The guy said, I own this house. So it turns like, it seems that somebody, there was a rumor, I don't know how true it is, a middle-aged person in Middletown, I guess, has sucked up the house and then was leasing it to innocent people.
Oh, gotta love this.
To the
road.
point, so then I called O&R the next day and I said, I don't think they're on my electric, can you tell me? He said, no, your electric's good. And I said, can you tell me if it's on my old neighbors? And he said, the only thing I tell you is it's new electric, they're paying an electric bill already.
They're paying an electric bill.
Yeah. So up until last night, there were outside lights on all the time, and,
So the owner that came up from the city didn't.
he lives in the Carolinas, and I guess he comes up every once in a while, he checks on the house.
So is he doing anything legally to move the squatters out?
I imagine is, I know he was working with the Goshen Police Force on Friday. And there was it had to be Friday, because on Monday I called O&R just to make sure that because there are poles that go through the woods. You guys do things so strange up here. I'm a city girl, nice to see telephone poles in the woods, and then one comes off of mine and one goes to his. So I was afraid maybe someone crafty could have interrupted mine. So I'm good, but is there anything we could do as neighbors, other than just watch the house, or is there anything the town can do?
I just wanna ask, there was that squatter law that allowed a squatter to live in a house, was that a New York state law? And then they got to own the house after a certain amount of time?
I don't know the law.
I don't know how they do
I know that getting any person out of a house is almost impossible in New York State.
Even a squatter.
Oh, yeah.
Squatter or a renter that stopped paying rent. It could take up to 12 months.
I know that your Goshen Police Force got them out that night and removed them from the house. the illegal people renting it.
So what they do, did the owner come up from North Carolina and put a padlock on it?
He-
That is a way, from
He
my
just happened to
understanding.
be up, he came up.
I would not.
Well,
Yeah, out there.
So I know he had said he was going to try to barricade the doors and somehow turn off the electric.
Yeah, I don't know.
But anything we could do as neighbors, or is there anything you guys can do as a town board?
Nothing we can do.
Nothing.
No.
You can direct me
Our
to look
property.
into it, and I will
Okay.
I'll talk to the chief and
Right.
I'll get an answer for you.
That'd be great, Rory, we
But just
appreciate
be
your
careful.
kind of help.
I appreciate it, thank you.
I saw all the bunch of garbage piled up in front of that house.
That's another thing,
Yeah.
someone came and dumped, I
Yeah.
guess, instead of going another mile and spending $40 at the landfill, they dumped a whole bunch of garbage in the
Yeah, I saw
driveway.
that.
I called the cops about that, I never got a summary of that, but I understand the old neighbor went through the garbage and he got like licenses and
Yeah.
they had their names in it, so I guess that's how he knew they were squatters.
Oh,
But Joe, there was so much garbage, it's like the length
It
of
it
this
was
dais.
a huge pile of garbage.
You think
I
somebody
thought-
dumped it, or?
Either that or it came out of the house.
Wow.
That's what I thought, because I
Yeah.
saw cars for last week, but I thought they were finally fixing the house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I thought
they
too.
they had a van in there that had like a sign on the door, so we all just assumed they were the builders.
What if that bag of exploding garbage exploded inside the house?
That's true.
Would have been a problem.
And it's an old wooden
Want
house.
to take care of your squatters?
I was just I said the owner might have been happy.
I saw it, there you go.
I got yelled at, because that was what I was ready to say.
I'm allowed to show.
This one, he finally made a point with me,
Oh.
now it's down again.
Yeah.
So
But
I
if the
guess,
police are on it, Marie, the police are on it, I can talk to Chief Post tomorrow, see what they're doing, I'm just not sure. I know the town, there's nothing legally we can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
I
probably
mean,
falls on the homeowner, but.
Well, it depends on if there are
We'll talk.
and that's
violations.
another
Code
confusion, I
violations,
don't,
like
If there are
building
code
code?
violations, then our building inspector is the
Yeah.
enforcement
there's
officer.
gotta be code violations, it's 3 years since
So-
the guy
That
lived
doesn't
there.
remove the
House
house.
is
No.
nasty.
But the problem too is, I don't think, he was the former owner, but I think it's in a mix-up with the banks as to, I think there were a couple of mortgages, one of those kind of things, so the banks.
The bank may own it.
Right.
139 Gate Schoolhouse Road.
Gate Schoolhouse Road.
All right, I'll
Be
look into
careful to
it.
the neighbor to the right.
All right.
I got it, message received.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Chris is back from Florida.
He's ready to go.
Yeah, that was my fault, I said it scheduled an impromptu meeting on the 18th.
And here I am. Good evening, Chris Haley, Town of Goshen resident. A few things to start with. Local Law 1 of 2026 is currently on the town website as the solar moratorium. And tonight we talk about Local Law 1 being a certain solar energy uses. Are these one and the same, or have we, it's the same law?
Yeah.
Thank you. Number two, I'm sticking my head in the lion's mouth on this one, but I think that the town supervisor should certainly travel in comfort. I have no problem with the Suburban. I would ask to make sure that the Suburban will be a four-wheel drive vehicle used all year round, and it should be appropriately outfitted for town use. That is to say, lights, emergency equipment, etc. I'm not asking any board member to use their personal vehicle for as much traveling as our supervisor or some of our board members do. But there may be, and as you say, there are some other, the buildings department might very well be able to make use of this if their
Correct.
vehicles are not available and should be outfitted.
And the town clerk who does a lot of banking and stuff.
Absolutely, gotta put the money somewhere. Lastly, the tow policy, I hadn't heard of this before, this just happened this evening, seemed to be pretty quick.
Chris, what? I'm sorry.
The
what
tow
do you mean?
policy?
Oh, the tow policy.
The issue with the tow company's been ongoing.
It's a couple of-
and let's just say
Last
that,
meeting or the meeting before, I don't think you were here for it, I
Ah.
think.
yeah, let's just
I
say
just can't go
the
over it.
accident yesterday was destroyed and broke the camel's back.
In listening to the explanation, it seems to me, because I had an issue in the town of Walk Hill, one of my vehicles, one of my guys put it off-road, got stuck. On the radio, we came up with my other truck, we hook up, police says you can't touch it. I have a tow truck company coming, I says, it's my vehicle, and I had the guys pull it out. I told them, go ahead and arrest me, and there's no way I'm doing this, waiting for a tow company. Now, you said, I understand, if there's a vehicle in the roadway, that is a hazard to travel, and absolutely needs to be towed as soon as practical or as possible. If, say, the town, the chief calls for a tow company, but another tow company arrives before that, and this vehicle is in the street, from what if I understood correctly, you're saying, no, that tow company will not be able to move the hazardous vehicle and must wait for another tow company. That's, to me, that's,
There's this, chief's got discretion when it comes to those situations. I think the concern is that there's a bit of a predatory type thing coming when they're showing up. It's not just first being there first, right? It's got the ability to handle and triage the situation that occurred last week or the other day.
Yes,
My
I mean,
understanding
it
was
was almost a
a
full-blown
very
fight.
complicated
Oh.
removal.
The vehicle owner is not calling the tow company. There's fighting tow companies showing up, fighting each other.
I understand the
Not the
underlying
driver.
problem.
To your point, you're right, the owner of the vehicle, the chief's position is, if it's sitting in the middle of the road, I'm calling the tow company, period. And if, once I call the tow company, that's it, nobody else can pick the
Right.
car up. If it's sitting on the side of the road, by all means, you have every right to call whoever you want, and we're not gonna,
And I'm
And
not
Chris's
talking-
point is
Yeah.
it's timing, if it's a safety issue, and they're there first.
Yeah,
But there's still the discretion of the chief to make that call. I understand where you're going. but-
From a business point of view, and I don't own a tow truck company, I don't have a dog in the fight, but if I were to invest in a company, I build a company, I put a tremendous amount of money into my company, and now I am being held from a public official, an appointed public official, and that is hurting my bottom line financially, I think it's a problem for the town.
Being on a tow list is a privilege, not a right. So if we're talking about companies on the tow list, that's irrelevant in the sense that it's a privilege beyond it. So if you're coming there and the behavior or the performance is deemed unacceptable, that's what we want to give some discretion to the chief.
And
Make a
if
call
it-
for public safety. I mean, this isn't a taking.
Right. And if the one tow company can't make it in time to alleviate an emergency, the police chief would have the authority to relieve that emergency. When that other tow truck comes, as long as he's on the tow list, they have to understand that if he was not there in a timely manner, then the police chief made the decision.
I think,
So-
up your point, and
It's
Phil,
no big deal.
I agree with you. What I will say is, I think this is more about, someone wanting to call their tow truck company and their car is in the way, and we wanna get it out as quick as possible. We want the local company that we're used to working with, that works on our roads, that's approved, inspected, and all those things to get there and do it, rather than, oh, my buddy's got a rig and he can pull it out. And that's understandable, because it's your property, but that's usurped when it's a public safety.
Right.
So
And
that's really the meaning of the policy, but your point is well taken.
And to the point of being public safety and getting this vehicle off the road expediently, our town police department does not have any big rig or anything big enough to push a vehicle off the road safely.
we're not allowed to, insurance-wise. We're not allowed to hook up to another car, we're not allowed to touch another car. Anything happens to that car,
Yeah.
Okay.
it's our insurance
Yeah.
company.
Only that, in New York City,
Yeah, no.
PD comes up with their issue truck, it's a Ford F-50, that big bumper, they just push
just
that.
push it out of the way,
It's
yeah.
amazing to
fire
watch it
trucks,
happen.
push them right out of the way.
No,
Yeah.
listen, we wouldn't have this problem right now if the one company that was in question just stayed on the days that they had, but they just wanna,
It's
they
really,
want every day.
it's about maintaining order, and they're not staying in order.
Yeah.
I understand, and to finish my point, I would hate to think that diplomacy hasn't been completely exhausted before we start making rules and regulations that could cause the town a headache. I just see it as a business interruption
It's
issue.
a 20-year
It's been
ongoing
ongoing. I told-
Already
situation.
a headache.
Yesterday's accident was the straw that broke the camel's back for the chief. I was there, I mean, it was almost a fist fight between two, in fact, the one company in question actually put a car on and took off. The chief was so pissed he wanted to send somebody after him, but he didn't, just go.
Yeah,
And then there was another person there, there was another car there
Yeah.
that said, I have a problem with this company, I do not want them touching their car. The chief said, by all means, call whoever you want to pick up your car. So he did adhere to the wishes of the two people, at least the one person that said, I don't want that company touching my car.
Okay. I feel as though I've been heard. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
You've been heard.
Thank you, Neil Holloway. I understand all about the tow thing, and God bless it, because when it's on the road, you have to do what you have to do. I understand that entirely. And I know these guys are fighting over it because it's worth tens of thousands of dollars. Probably the tow on that vehicle is gonna be $30,000-$40,000 for that. So that's why the fight's there. I'm not claiming they should do it anything different. And I do know the other issue is usually it's on the heavy wreckers. Because some of these guys have contracts with a trucking company, and I'll do all your towing, and they show up because they heard that this guy has a tow, or the company calls up right away and gets there. However, even if it's on the road, that's not a justification for us to say, we'll wait around for that to happen.
Right.
And I'm not arguing for that, but I just wanted to explain that. Okay, George, I want to thank you for all your work you did on the IWS work. I think it's been really good. I think that you may want to, I know you had some questions about the traffic. You may want to ask John Cannon to be at the next meeting.
He will be.
Yeah.
Okay, good, I wasn't sure. On the DEC permit for them, I'm not sure, and I've never seen that the DEC permit was ever really advanced from 300 acre tons up to 600 tons. If you're really going to use that number, you should probably see that in a hard copy from them. Because I'm not sure that ever really was actually done. I think that just as we have had issues sometimes with that, where we start the process and it's never finished, I think that may have been the same issue with the DEC, so.
I'll request that tomorrow from them.
Okay. They did say something about no violations since 2018. I think you have to also look at the DEC violations. Because I think there's also been DEC, besides the EPA, there's also DEC violations. I do know that irregardless of whether I ever received a notice of violation, they are in violation of your law right now and the DEC's, because at the back of the property, there's supposed to be a fence. There's supposed to be a fence entirely around this property. If you look at the back of their property, there is no fence. It's been a violation for you and for the DEC. And we also know, and they put it on their site plan actually, that they are using property off the site. They are going off the site onto to another property, and they're doing that now. And they have it right on your site plan, I believe.
Just a question, are we talking about the property they're renting from Altori,
Right.
or are we
Well,
talking?
the property renting from Altori is not approved. That's never been part of any approval at all. You've never considered it, the planning board never considered it. In fact, when it was discussed at the planning board level, I believe that Kelly Norton was the attorney at that time, and she made it very clear that the planning board was not approving the use of that property at all. That's at the back of the property. So leasing it or not just because you lease it doesn't give you the right to open up an operation that's not approved by the town. And it's not approved by the DEC, it's not approved by anybody at this point in time. And I'm not sure how you ever can approve it, because you can't expand beyond the existing acreage that's already allowed for solid waste.
I thought they were only renting, I could be wrong, and if I am, I apologize. I thought they were only renting that property to satisfy the setback, because their building was too close to the property.
They were gonna do that on the left-hand side of the building, or
Okay.
behind the tipping building. That was not for that purpose at all. What they're doing is they're parking their trucks back there further, when they're parking there overnight. So that's why it's there.
So, just so I understand, if we're on their property looking at the building,
Yeah.
my back's to Amy's Kitchen, we're looking at the building, we're looking at the property behind it, we're talking about the property.
So you're on the side lot line then, if you're at back of Amy's Kitchen?
Yep.
Right, okay, yep.
And I'm looking at the building, we're talking about the property behind it,
No, we're talking about
To the right,
the property to the right. Where they were talking about having lease the property for the setback was behind that building.
Okay.
Right. Now, what the property we're talking about right now that they have on their site plan, if you look at it, they have a bump out there that they're using that I think is in the realm of 4,000 or 5,000 square feet of property that they're using. That has never been approved, it's never been part of the application really. I'm not even sure they included it on the application other than to show you that it's there. But I think, so aside from that, and then also the question about whether they really do have a permit, an actual permit from the DEC saying they can go up to 600 tons right now, it would be very good if you could see that.
I think it's 25,000 square feet, if I remember.
Oh, it might be,
Yeah.
whatever that number is.
Is that where the trailer is that they used to use for their office, Altori? Is that piece you're talking
No,
about?
that's behind there.
Okay.
Yeah,
So it's in
where
front
the
of it.
generation thing used to be.
Yeah.
Actually, no, that's,
Where
the office used to be up front by Verhaeg's.
Yeah,
Then there was the generation station right behind us too.
okay.
But no, okay. All right, thank you.
Excellent. Tom? No? All right, then the motion to close the March 12th town board meeting.
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everyone.